It's the Joseph Bristol Show.
If you enjoy the video, hit the like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe.
Welcome to another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show, where I go over different aspects of our society, different things that in our lives that I think need adjusting and changing. And I just talk about it with you all. Hopefully I can inspire and change your perception of reality so we can all live a better life because we are all connected. This is a spiritual life that we are experiencing. We are all spirits experiencing the physical life, right? So on today's episode, I want to talk about prayer, right? And in which case, when I'm talking about prayer, what I'm talking about is not just the power of prayer, because we all know that prayer is a powerful thing. And this goes into, I'm going to be using Bible verses, but anyone who knows me will tell you I am inherently not a Christian. So I'm not a Christian in the sense that I don't worship Jesus Christ. I don't do that, especially not a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus Christ. I don't do that, right? And no hate on anybody that does. If that's your thing, that's your thing, right? There's no compelling in religion. Every man has his own religion. That's actually a Quranic verse from the Quran, the Holy Quran, right? So I have no real religion, although in the Muslim faith, it is believed that we are all Muslims, because the word Muslim means to submit to God. That's the meaning of the word. And in the Muslim faith, in Islam, it's believed that all of us believe in God, no matter who we are. Even an atheist believes in a power greater than himself. He just may not name that power as God, right? And essentially, really, the only people that worship a deity would be Christianity, because they worship God and they believe that he has an equal, right? So, but again, I'm not really here to get into all of that. What I'm here to get into is prayer, because recently I've been talking to a lot of people in my life, and they have been really big on praying. And I believe in prayer. I think that prayer is a great thing, but all they talk about is prayer. So they're not actually believing that there's more to prayer than just, putting your hands together and praying, right? And I grew up in the church, me personally. My family is Seventh-day Adventist, so I used to go to church. I know Bible stories. I have them memorized. I know verses and all those things. But today's episode, I just want to go over a couple of verses in the Bible that talk about what and how prayer has to be connected with actions. Right? So it's not enough to just sit around praying, oh God, give me $1 million. Oh God, give me a better job. Oh God, give me a man that's going to love me and cherish me and take care of me. That's not enough. You have to actually put in some action, like put in some work, right? So I just want to go over a couple verses. And here you can see I created this circle right here. This is like very important, right? So this is what I call my prayer circle action, right? So actions is the first step, and then with the actions, then you have to pray. And when you pray, God will either allow it, because that's his will. And we're going to get into this God's will and that in a little bit. But first, I just want to do the prayer thing first, right? So I want to start off with these two verses before we get into the last one. So these two verses, right? And what these two verses are is Luke 11:19. So if you don't know how the Bible works, this is a chapter, right? So this is a chapter, and then this is the verse. So if you can look it up in your Bible. And this is King James Version. Anybody who doesn't know the history of the Bible was burned many different times and rewritten and burned and then rewritten over and over again. So each version of the Bible is telling you the version of that person that gave their interpretation, right? So the first verse I want to go over, and I tell you, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. So this is talking about praying and action. Again, because as God is clearly saying, and I tell you, ask, that's you have to pray and it will be given to you. So if you pray for it, I'll give you what you're asking for. If you look for it, seek. So if you look for it, you will find it, right? So you have to put in the action. If you knock, again, action. You have to actually do something. You have to actually knock on the door and it will be open for you, right? So if you're just standing in front of the door shouting, open it, open it, open it, you're not going to get anything out of life. That's not the way God works, all right? And now we're going to go into the next one. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God. And let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. So again, if you don't know what to do, if you are confused, or you are like, yo, I want this thing, I want a good man in my life, I want a man to love me, right? But you don't know how to find this man, you don't know what to do to get this man, to keep this man, to make this man love you, right? God says, if you lack the wisdom, ask him, right? So you pray for that. God, teach me how to find a good man, how to love a good man. Teach me. And God is telling you that I will teach you. I will show you. I will give you the wisdom. So again, you have to put in the work to find the man, right? Put in the work. Again, let's write that down. Put in the work. So you put in the work and God will give it to you. And God gives, right? And God gives, which goes into the saying that, God helps those who help themselves, right? And you know what I mean? That's very important. So here, let's get into the next verse. I got a couple of them. We're just going to run through them really quick, but I got another one. For as the body apart from the spirit is dead, so also faith apart from works is dead. Again, so we are spirits in the physical body. If you take out the spirit of a human being, then essentially his body is dead. His body will do nothing, right? It's the same exact things. So faith apart from works is dead. Faith apart from works is dead. This is the most important part right here. So it's not enough to just believe that God is going to give you something because you prayed for it. You have to actually work for it. You have to actually put in the work. So again, I keep talking about having a good man because, again, talking to a couple of my friends, almost all my friends are female. They are like, yo, I want to have a good man. I want a man to love me. I want a man to treat me right. I want a man to do this and that and that and the other. And it's like, yeah, you can have that. You can pray for it and God will give it to you. But the question is, what are you going to do to get that? And what will you do to keep that? Because it's not enough, again, to just pray and think that God is going to give it to you. You have to put in the work. So I'm going to write that again. Put in work and God gives. It's very important. Oh, for this one, we forgot to write that if you don't know, ask, right? If you don't know, God teaches. God teaches. Now, it's important to understand with this one, though, is when I say God teaches, God is not going to literally talk to you in your brain and teach you something. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is God teaches by sending someone. But you have to be open to learn. Because again, God's not going to talk to you. You're not that special. You're not a prophet, right? God is going to send someone into your life that will teach you. Or maybe you'll watch a video that will inspire you and teach you, right? So that's what it's talking about here. If you pray for the knowledge, God will give you the knowledge. But you have to be open to understanding the knowledge, right? So come on, let's go into the next one. But someone will say, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith apart from your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. So what this is talking about is people that do work, but they don't pray, right? So, but you will say, you have faith and I have works. So this is the guy who's sitting around praying all day. He ain't doing nothing, but I'm over here doing something, but I ain't praying, right? Show me your faith apart from your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. So what he is talking about here is, I will show you my faith by my works. Faith is not just praying. Having faith is actions. Your actions are your faith, right? So if you believe in God, if you believe in a better life, you're going to do things that show people that you believe, right? So your actions, so this is actions are and show your faith. Again, you're going to do things, right? So you're giving to charity. You're helping other people. You're kind to people when they're mean to you. These are all actions that show you believe in God. You're applying for that job that you've always wanted. You're talking to the girl that you like that you're like pursuing this girl. You're calling her, you're texting her, you're asking her to go out. You're showing interest in this girl because you believe in your mind that this girl is meant for you. So because you believe that God sent this woman into your life to be with you, you're going to pursue her, and you're going to pursue her with the belief that she is for you. You have faith. Your actions are and show your faith. Let's get into the next one. Number 4. What good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith but does not have works, right? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warmed and filled, without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that? So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. So again, this is talking about you praying. So you're saying, yo, I want to be happy. I want a man. I want a good job. I want a house. I want this. But you ain't doing nothing. You're not out here talking to, respectable women or respectable men. You're not out here showing this person that you're talking to that you have value to them, right? So you're I don't know, cooking for them. You're taking them out. You're inspiring them. You're motivating them. But you're showing the person, hey, look at me, pick me, right? You know what I mean? It's like a basketball team, right? So I always consider this, right? It's like a basketball team, right? So this girl likes you, and she's talking to you. She wants to be your girl. She not only has to ask herself, why would he pick me? Right? Because if she asks herself that, then she would say, well, look, I'm a good dribbler. I got a great 3-point shot. You know what I'm saying? Let me show him why he should pick me. And the boy, of course, has to show her, well, hey, look, this is why you should pick me. But obviously, she's already decided that she wanted to be with him. The same way, if a guy is pursuing a girl, he has to show her why she should pick him. It's not the other way around. So your faith must have actions. You cannot just believe in God and say that, yo, I believe, that's enough. You have to do something. You have to actually do. Doing is most important to faith. And again, how do we know this? Look at the clear sentence that he says right here. If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warmed and filled, without giving them the things needed for their body, what good is that? What good is that? What good is that? Oh, I want to be loved by a man. And then a man comes into your life and you ain't doing nothing to show him why he should love you. How is he supposed to love you? What are you asking for? What are you looking for? Same thing, you praying for a good woman, a good woman, a good woman. A good woman comes into your life and you treating her like crap. You ain't even showing her that, yo, I appreciate that you're a good woman and you're here. Come on, bro. Doing is the most important thing to faith. You have to actually do. Let's jump into the next thing right here. And every work that he undertook in the service of the house of God and in accordance with the law and the commandments, seeking his God, he did with all his heart and prospered. So what is this talking about? What this is saying to you is that not only do you have to put in the work, right? So you have to put in the work, but you got to do it right. You got to do it like you want to do it, right? So put in the work and do it right, and do it with joy. So this goes back into your mama tell you to clean up the kitchen and you go in there moping and doping with an angry face on. You're going to half-ass those dishes. You ain't going to wash them good, in which case your mama going to be upset. Now, if you went into that kitchen and washed them good and washed them like you want to clean the dishes, like you want it to be good, you're going to prosper. You're going to have more. That's what this verse is talking about. This verse is telling people that when you make actions, when you do something in the belief that God is going to take care of whatever it is, the problems that you have, you're going to do good in accordance with the law and commandments, right? So you're doing good in the world. You're doing the right thing. God will make sure that you prosper. But you got to do it right. You got to do it with all your heart. You got to put in your passion to it. So I'm going back into pursuing another person. You say, yo, I feel like this woman was sent to me by God. You pursue that woman with all your heart, all your passion. You're good to this woman. You're trying to show this woman, hey, look, pick me. right? God is going to make sure that you prosper. Obviously, if the woman's not for you, then she's not for you. But if you pursue her with all your heart and with good intentions, God is guaranteed that you will prosper if she's for you, right? So now let's get into the next thing, which goes back into our prayer circle. Oh, snap, look how I moved my circle. Which goes back into our prayer circle, right? Actions. You make the actions, then you pray on the actions that you made, and if it's God's will or he allows, then he will allow your actions to come to fruition, in which case you would make more actions and pray, and so on and so forth, and the cycle just continues. So the last one, when it comes to actions to your prayer, they profess to know God, but they deny him by their works. They are detestable, disobedient, unfit for any good work. So what is this talking about? This is the most important one to me, because this is saying they profess to know God. So these are believers. Oh, I believe in God. Oh, God, I believe in God. But they deny him by their works. So they're saying they believe in God, but what are they doing? They doing the wrong thing. They ain't doing nothing good. They not pursuing what they desire, what they prayed for with all their heart. They're not pursuing it with real intent and real joy, right? So they doing wrong or half-ass, right? And God is saying they are the most detestable, disobedient, unfit, because they doing wrong or they half-assing it. So God already told you what these people are. These people ain't gonna win. These people can't win. God already said that. Remember what he said up here. Look, oh snap, let's not move this, my bad. But remember what he said up here. What did he say up here? He said, yo, put in the work and do right and do it with joy, and you're gonna prosper. You're gonna have more. But obviously, if you half-ass it or do the wrong thing, then you are detestable, disobedient, and unfit. Now, next thing I want to get into, after we finish talking about praying and putting in action, is God's will, right? Because you can do whatever you want to do, but if God don't want that for you, it ain't gonna happen. So this is what this thing, all things are for a reason, and by God's grace and mercy, right? All things. So the way that I think about God, and the way that I think about all things happening for a reason, and by the grace of God's mercy and by his grace, right, is we are improv actors, right? We are actors in a movie, and we're allowed to improv, right? We're allowed to do our own thing. We're allowed to go off script. God is the director and the co-writer to our movie, right? So he already wrote out the movie, or he's writing out the movie with us as we're alive, because that's what free will is. We're allowed to write our own movie, and he writes it with us, right? And at the same time, he's directing the movie. So he's like, yo, go over here. But if we don't want to go over there, we don't have to go over there. We can go the other way. God's not going to force us. Actually, he will, but it ain't in the way where he's like, come here, and then forces you to do it. That ain't how he works, right? So what am I talking about? Proverbs is probably my favorite chapter in the Bible, right? So if you forgot, again, this is the name of the chapter, right? Name of the chapter. This is the chapter number, right? So chapter number, and then this is the verse. Which verse is it talking about, right? So it says, the heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. So that goes back into what I just said. You are the actor. So God is the heart of man, right? So you plan, right? You plan to go this way, right? But the Lord establishes his steps. But God got to be the one to give you the grace, the mercy to say, go ahead. So God allows. God allows. That's how it works here. So God allows you to go this way, then you're allowed to go that way. But if God don't allow it, then you ain't going to go that way, right? So let's get into another one. The Lord has made everything for its purpose, even the wicked for the day of trouble. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a worth. Everything has a value. Everything. It says it right here. The Lord has made everything for its purpose. Everything. Women, men, children, plants, fecal matter, spit, organs, eyeballs, TVs. Everything is made with a purpose, right? So everything has purpose. Again, let's write that down because this cannot be established enough. Everything. Notice I'm putting this thing in capital. Everything has purpose. And remember, purpose equals worth. Purpose equals worth and value. So that's very, very important, right? Not enough people understand that. That goes back into the people, your person, you as a person. What is your value? What is your worth to another person? What is your purpose in this other person's life? What is it? You need to understand that. You need to establish that, right? So let's get into this next one right here. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. So again, God is the director. God is the director, and you are the actor. You're the actor allowed to improv. So God says it right here. He already has plans. I know the plans I have for you. I know the plans I have for you. So he has plans for us. Plans for welfare, not for evil. So all of the things that happen in our lives are for the best of us. It's not for any type of evil, right? To give you a future and a hope. So everything that's happening to you is for a better future and for your hope. So God is the director and you are the actor allowed to improv. And on that note, the very last things, life's hardships and lessons. Because a lot of people think that, oh, well, you know, why does life suck and why is it so hard? It is for discipline that you have to endure. God is treating you as sons. For what son is there whom his father does not discipline? Now, just let's reread this again. It is for discipline. It is for discipline. So God already tells you why you're going through hardships. It's for your discipline that you have to endure. You have to endure. This goes into no suicide. Right? You have to endure. God is treating you as sons. Sons is what it says, but ultimately God is talking about children. He's treating you as children, right? For what son, what child, right? So that's again, what child is there whom his father does not discipline? What kid who has a good father, his father don't discipline? And of course, father, it can be replaced with parent. If you're a single mom out there, shout out to you. I'm a single father, so I know how it is. But that's basically what this verse is saying to you. It's saying to you that your hardships in your life is for your endurance. It's to teach you to endure. It's to teach you how to thrive and strive in life. Because life is hard. It ain't easy. It ain't meant to be easy. It's hard, right? And then let's go into this last one, and I'm going to wrap this up. Proverbs. Again, I love Proverbs. My son, do not reject the discipline of the Lord, or loathe his rebuke. For whom the Lord loves, he disciplines, just as a father disciplines the son in whom he delights. Blessed is a person who finds wisdom, and one who obtains understanding. Blessed, blood clot man. Blessed is a person who finds wisdom, and one who obtains understanding. But how do you find wisdom and obtain understanding, right? How? You have to go through discipline, right? It says it right here. It is for discipline that you have endured. And God says it right here. Do not reject the discipline of the Lord or loathe his rebuke. So again, rebuke. What is he talking about? Rebuke. You made a mistake. You fucked up. You made a mistake and God is now punishing you. Don't be angry that you got punished. Don't be upset that God is punishing you for the mistake that you made. Rejoice in it. Be glad. Be happy that God loves you so much that he sees you messing up. And he's like, yo, I'm going to fix this for you. I'm going to get you right. I'm going to help you do better. Oh, you're not eating healthy? You're not taking care of your body? Don't worry about it. Boom. Now you're sick. Now you're sick. You want to live better? You want to have more? You're going to do the right thing. You're going to take care of your body. You will endure just so that you may have wisdom and obtain understanding. Blessed is the son whose father corrects him. I cannot emphasize that enough. Now, let me write this down because this is not enough. Blessed is the son. Matter of fact, let's change that because it's not just about a son or Blessed is the child whose parent corrects him. Blessed is that child. So whenever you're talking to somebody, and this is the main point I wanted to get in with this part right here, because ultimately this is just saying to you all that life is hard, and no matter what's going on in your life, God has a plan for you. He's watching over you. He's guiding you. That's just the way the Lord works, and it's going to be okay. But you have to have faith. You have to believe that everything is going to work out. But your faith is not just, oh snap, look how I moved that, I messed it up. But your faith is not just believing. Your faith, remember, oh, look how we messing the whole thing up. Oh, snap, come on, right here. My paper is just really messing up. So your faith is not just believing. Your faith is your actions. And we established that. Your faith is not just believing, but your faith is your actions. Doing is the most important thing to faith. So if you believe that God is here for you, to watch over you, to protect you, to guide you on your path, then your actions will indicate that. Your actions will show that. And you will endure. You will endure the hardships of life. Oh, that's the one that threw away. You will endure the hardships of life just so that you may prosper and have understanding. Because blessed is the child whose parent corrects him. So I'm saying all this to say, if you're talking to somebody and they are always trying to help you to improve and do better, and they are correcting you when you make mistakes, don't be one of those people that say, oh, you sound like a dad. You sound like my dad. You sound like my mom. I don't need a mom. I don't need a dad. I don't need that. Everyone needs that. Everyone needs that. You should be thankful. You should thank God. You should drop to your knees and praise God that he would send someone into your life who cares enough that they would correct you when you are wrong, that they would help you when you are down, that they would guide you so that you may have understanding and enlightenment, because that is ultimately what God does for all of us. I want to thank you for watching another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. Please leave a comment. Let's go over it. We can go over these Bible verses. You want to talk about faith, I'm open to it. That being said, thanks for watching another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. So remember, man, we all out here trying to do the same thing. Survive and be happy. Y'all stay blessed.